motivational speech was the most inspiring, but criticizing his appearance, I don't know if I think that is a fair shot for Mike McCarthy. I'm going to leave it at that. Chris Broussard.
Thanks, Jenny. I appreciate that.
I don't think it is a fair shot.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's a fair shot.
Is
either.
everyone
that's
who's a good coach as fit as you, Skip? I don't think that's a fair shot whatsoever.
I said it was a personal preference, and I wouldn't want him to be my head coach.
That have not had the perfect ideal physique, including my college coach. So I don't think that's a fair shot.
Okay.
And I'm allowed to have an opinion, Skip. I am allowed to say whatever I want to say on this show, as you do too.
We're the team.
Will join us and he'll react to Westbrook's comment, and maybe I have more to say next.
Yes.
Okay, so that clip from a few years back just gives you a bit of the dynamic that Skip, Shannon, and Jenny had on the show. This clip is going to be important because it'll provide a little bit more context to what Jason Whitlock says later in this video. You can tell there was a ton of tension between Skip and Jenny that was something that boiled over a period of time, and that there was more of a friendly, jovial relationship between Shannon and his moderator. What's up, guys? So there's been a ton of fallout since the FS1 lawsuit dropped the other day, particularly for Joy Taylor, as the internet has been roasting her non-stop. Skip Bayless, on the other hand, has pretty much come out of this unscathed from what I've noticed so far. Judging by the comments, a lot of people are having a hard time believing a man would pay $1.5 million to smash a chick. Anyways, things really hit the fan when Jason Whitlock dropped his reaction video, and this guy actually made a 2-hour video talking about the lawsuit and dropped some interesting tidbits which I'm going to share with you. Allegedly, the relationship between Skip and Shannon was so constrained at FS1 that Skip allegedly began making claims around the office that Shannon and Jenny were hooking up in the dressing room. Pretty wild accusations, especially in the office in my opinion, but I can kind of see how Skip was jealous with Shannon. Shannon comes off as someone who can be really comfortable around girls, just how he can be really goofy in front of them, and I wouldn't be surprised if Skip felt some sort of way that his co-host was being a little flirtatious with all the ladies in the office. And I'm not saying that's what happened or that there's anything wrong with that, but I can see how Shannon may come off that way. Whenever you watched Undisputed, the dynamics of the show always seemed like Skip was on his own while Jenny and Shannon had more of a closer bond. They joke around a lot during the intro and even on social media clips like the one I showed you in the beginning of this video. Anyways, have a listen to what Jason Whitlock had to say about the three-way dynamic on the show because he exposes quite a bit on here.
Because the woman I'm about to reference here is someone I really like and respect. I'm not accusing her of anything. I'm just telling you what happened, and you can go check the tape. What you don't know is what happened behind the scenes. But some of you will remember this. Skip Bayless insinuated, flat out somewhat stated, that Jenny Taft was having some sort of inappropriate relationship with Shannon Sharpe. He said something about seeing her come out of Shannon's dressing room or something like that. And she got upset on air. But off air, as soon as that show was over, she ran upstairs and lit in to the executives. One executive in particular. About this, Skip Bayless basically just accused me of sleeping. And Jenny Taft is married. And so she was irate. And this happened on air. And that was my first clue. Like, oh, this dude is jealous of Shannon Sharpe, and he's seeing ghosts everywhere. And Shannon's putting those ghosts out there. Shannon walked around that place like he was banging every makeup and wardrobe girl in the place. His little wing, the undisputed downstairs wing, dressing room area, whatever, Shannon was known for running around there in the tightest little boxer shorts that he could find and nothing else. Again, me and Cowher were on the second floor. I'm telling you what I heard. I'm just telling you what I heard. I'll just leave it at that. But he has baited Skip Bayless, for lack of a better explanation, into a pimp competition. Who can have the most girls in hair and makeup like them, want to be with them? And again, Skip's mindset is competition, and I'm competing with Shannon Sharpe. And Shannon Sharpe has now baited him into the sexual Olympics. And now Skip Bayless like, oh, he's sleeping with Jenny Taft. Oh, he must be sleeping with Nusheen. And Skip and Nusheen were very close. From afar, to me, it looked like they were best friends. They were, I'd see them in hair and makeup quite often, always conversating. Again, I don't know what they were talking about. But reading this lawsuit and what she's saying is at some point, Skip clearly got jealous and thought she was sleeping with Shannon Sharpe and kept accusing her of that. And so could I see Skip, and as close as he and Nusheen were, could I see Skip getting into a conversation that at the time he thought was playful, where he's then, again, because he's entered this sexual competition, he's throwing it out on the table, he's talking to Nusheen, the way he's overheard Shannon Sharpe talk to all of these women. These are just facts. Shannon Sharpe kept a flirtatious conversation going on with all of them. Things would fall out of his mouth to these women and they'd laugh and they'd engage in a conversation with him that you couldn't pay me $1 million to say this stuff at work. Skip fell into it. Someone like me, like, I'm running away from it. I'm not in that competition. That competition is for idiots. That competition is for people that want to get me too. That competition is for people that want to end up in a lawsuit. And that's where Skip is. Because at some point he probably said something in jest or like, oh, what you need? What do I got to pay to get in them panties? Something along those lines. And Nusheen probably said, Shannon Sharpe said he would put me on scholarship for $1 million.
Couple things me and Shannon talk about in commercial breaks. My lack of working out.
Yes.
My unhealthy eating.
Yes.
My Hallmark Gen fashion sense.
You'll never outgrow those.
Those are just repeat of.
Okay, so you heard what Jason Whitlock said about Skip, always felt in competition with Shannon, whether it be about debates or even possibly entertaining the woman in the office allegedly. Pretty crazy to hear this if you ask me, but some of the clips I've shown you in this video, you could tell there was a certain dynamic or a friendly relationship between Shannon and Jenny on the show that Skip did not have. And if I'm a betting man, I'm pretty sure it didn't end with just Jenny. Shannon Sharpe seemed to have a friendly relationship with all the female staff there. There's tons of videos and pics of him on social media cozying up with them, even whether it be in a platonic way. I recall him and Joy Taylor even going to a Dodgers game, and there was a ton of rumors circulating after that picture surfaced. Honestly, Shannon just seems to be a person who would be very well liked by all the older and younger ladies in the office just because of his persona, and Skip just couldn't deal with that. I mean, if these allegations in the lawsuit are deemed to be true, how crazy is that? It looks like that everyone in the studio was getting their freak on except for maybe Skip Bayless and Jason Whitlock, which just sounds pretty funny to me. I don't know, what do you guys make of this lawsuit? Do you think there's anything to what Jason Whitlock has to say here about jealousy and envy from Skip Bayless? Let me know in the comments section below.